Well, as of late, it seems like we've been getting Omos shoved down our throat every single week on WWE TV. Omos versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Omos versus Seth Rollins at Backlash. Omos been losing a lot of matches, though. Yeah, still getting the big push ski and all of that. A lot of people criticizing WWE over this. Oh, this is Vince McMahon back. That's why he's pushing Omos down everybody's throat. But a lot of people seem to have high hopes for this big fella here. And if you watched Backlash and you've seen how well he was put over on Seth Rollins, look, Rollins got the win, but almost had, it took 3 fucking curb stomps to get him down. Omos had a good showing. Omos was on the Insight podcast with Chris Van Vliet this week and did a shorter interview than Chris normally does. But this absolutely changed my opinion of Omos. I thought it was an incredible interview. Well, maybe incredible is a little bit of hyperbole. I've definitely heard better interviews, but this was a very humanizing interview for Omos and really made me look at him in a different way. And I think you might too. I want to show you this clip here of Omos just talking about his love of professional wrestling. How he got into the business and what he loves about it and how he feels about this great sport of ours. Check out this clip.
We're supposed to have a WWE tryout in 2014, and because of various different circumstances, that didn't happen. Do you think about what life would look like had that happened at that time?
I do, but I don't think I was mentally ready for it. I always think back to, back then and, what I, when I didn't come for the trial, everything I had to go do in that 4-year time span. And I think I needed to go through that growth and truly try and give my best to basketball and for it to come to a full stop before I jumped into wrestling, because I don't think if I just came at that point in time, I think I'll have to have some, what if I did this in basketball? What if I did this? But I truly exhausted all my options. I was to the point where there's really nothing else for me to do. And I needed to pivot in my life, and it so happened to be that, wrestling was presented to me, and I fell in love with it on the first tryout I ever got into the ring. And it was, love at first sight, like truly love at first sight.
What was your first introduction to the WWE and to pro wrestling? Like, is it something that's popular in Nigeria?
Oh, to be honest, I didn't think it was until when I went back home last year. And I truly got to understand the magnitude of fans we have, not just in Nigeria, but just all over Africa as a whole, and how individuals watch it. I went back home last year for the first time in 14 years, and just having regular day workers seeing me on the streets and saying, "Oh, Omos," and I'm kind of shocked because I wasn't expecting that type of reception. But it went down to meeting, the current vice president of Nigeria, and like his kids are watching the pay-per-view.
Wow.
This is when, right before after we did we're in Saudi last year, Braun and I, and going back home, and the president's like, "We saw you. What you doing here?" I'm like, "Came here to see my family, and it's pro WWE. Well, we just saw you this, a couple of days ago in Saudi Arabia." I'm just like, wow, like this, like I did not know this, but it is extremely popular back home. Extremely popular.
I think
they even have a it's called Jumbo on the cable network there, and it's like a 24/7 programming for WWE. You can watch WWE 24/7 every day.
I'll tell you what, I'm on Team Omos now. I am on the train. I am officially on the Omos bandwagon. Omos, however you want to pronounce it. Look at this. This guy's well-spoken. He's much more well-spoken than I thought. He speaks fluent fucking English. Fluent. He understands it clearly. He speaks it clearly. He's got a thick accent, but he's not stumbling to try to find his words or anything like that. You can have a full-blown conversation with the guy. He's modeling himself after the right people. Kevin Nash, you see a lot of Kevin Nash in his ring work. I've noticed that, especially after he said that Kevin Nash is a big inspiration. I watched this guy wrestle. Remember that big sidewalk slam that he drops on fucking Seth Rollins? He also had the thing where I think it's a shot to the corner, and then he does the thing where after that he runs to the ropes and then comes off with the big boot. That's a Kevin Nash move. It's a good person to model himself after, a little bit of Big Show, a little bit of Giant, because he is a giant, so he's got to really work that in. And Nash, for as big as he was, and he is a giant, he doesn't necessarily work like a giant always. He took bumps and stuff like that. I think Omos might be. He's not a great Khali, and I think we all kind of look at him as like this big the big dumb stumbling. Same thing that what's his name gets over in AEW, the guy that's with Jeff Jarrett and stuff. Singh, is that his name? I don't know. But I think Omos has what it takes to be a big player in the business for years to come. He loves the business. He's not just in it to get a paycheck because basketball didn't work out for him anymore. Can speak fluent English. He's smart. He seems smart. And he's picking the perfect, he's getting information from the right people. He talks in this interview that he picked up from AJ Styles. Working with AJ Styles, he got the ferociousness, the viciousness, the intent to kill. Remember, AJ always talks about how Vince said he wanted his vicious pit bull. And that's what AJ is. Oh, yeah, I can do that. And AJ is vicious. And Omos says he took that from AJ, the intent to kill. When I go out there and I'm working with you, I am trying to kill you. He gets that anger and that look on his face, and everything's with malice and intent. And I see that coming out too in his work with Rollins. He's not great in the ring yet, but and he's got a mouthpiece for now. But it's very early on in Omos' career, and I think if he's around for like 10 years, he could be a world champion monster. I really do think that. I have changed my opinion about Omos after seeing this interview with him. I think he's got his head screwed on straight. I think he has all the ingredients he needs to make this work for him. So I am a bigger supporter of him now, and I'm going to watch his career grow, and I'm going to look at it through different eyes, and I encourage all of you to, too. I encourage you to listen to this full interview. I've linked it down in the description below. Chris Van Vliet, always a fantastic interviewer, but I would also just encourage you to look at Omos with different eyes. Give him a chance. Instead of looking at him as the big, dumb, lumbering giant. Can't talk, can't work. Give him a chance. Watch him work. Watch him try. I don't like the losses, though. He should have beat Seth Rollins at Backlash. Because Rollins, I think, is the guy. And I get why Rollins has had a lot of bad losses, too. And he needs to kind of come on up. But I think Rollins is the guy you put that World Heavyweight title on. And Rollins beats Cody Rhodes in the tournament. I think, had Omos beat Seth Rollins, he could have been lined up as a potential opponent for Seth Rollins. How can Seth surmount this fucking monster? He couldn't last time. He got beat. Now he's the champ. He's going to lose this time, isn't he? Who knows? Tune in to find out. But now he's already beaten him, so of course he can beat him again. But I think he needs to start getting his wins back. And he needs to start being built up as a monster. He's made to look good. He didn't get, he was made to look strong against Seth, but he needs to really start looking strong and be that unbeatable monster. Because I think he's the closest thing we have to it right now, and I think he's going to be around for a while and going to impress us over the years. But that's just my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on Omos down in the comments below. And I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next. Oh, yeah. Thanks for checking out the video. Yeah. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like it if you liked it. Yeah. And and you can check out full episodes each and every Sunday right here on the channel. Ooh yeah, dig it!